For almost half a century, Albania cut itself off from the outside world. Secure behind the fortress-like Balkan mountains, the 3 million inhabitants existed under a repressive regime of Stalinist communism. Now emerging from its isolation, the poorest country in Europe has a critical shortage of even the most basic foods and medicines. Thousands have tried to escape from a country no larger than Wales, torn by unrest and anarchy. The horror of the Albanian plight has been brought into focus by television pictures of the children the state abandoned in so-called hospitals. It's a country without structure, perilously close to collapse. Against this background, a group of men from the northwest of England decided they could no longer sit back and let others offer help. They were determined to take aid to those who need it most. This is the story of how that mission became a rough ride to Albania. 2,000 miles away, aid for Albania arrives by the carload at a church hall in Wigan.
See, the lads are out everywhere now. They're around schools. They're picking up all over the place.
It's local businessman Nick Hanley's idea to form a relief convoy. Now he has only 2 weeks to set up the organisation, helped by his close friend Tommy Brennan.
The stuff's in the hall and in the back hall. We're on a form of human chain.
That's super, that. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Nick, there's a man here been on phone at Dennis Wright. He's been to Romania and he's got 4 tons of stuff left over.
Hello, Brian. It's Nick here. How are you?
All this started when I saw pictures on television just before Christmas of starving children, people in a very, very bad way in Albania. And you see this, and naturally, actually, turn the television off and hope it'll go away. But I thought to myself, well, I have vehicles available, I have time, I've got good friends to help me to drive the vehicles to Albania. I'm going to do something about it. And I rang up a few people and told them what I wanted to do. And I knew by doing that, I couldn't opt out of it. I couldn't change my mind once I committed myself. Otherwise, I would lose face. So once I was committed, I knew I had to go ahead with it. And the response we've got was absolutely amazing. Within a few short weeks, we've had 40 tons of supplies. We've had nearly £8,000 in cash. People have been so generous, particularly the people that have got little money.
I didn't think with the recession and all these charities going on and everybody begging for things, I just didn't think we would get enough to fill the 3 vans. But we got more than enough,
More than enough, yeah.
It was just overwhelming, really was, the stuff that came in.
Every little helps, the widow's mite. So,
Yeah?
I've just been, I didn't tell you, did I, about the problems on the border?
No, have we got problems? We're in Greece.
Yeah, the Greek Rotarian in Athens was making contact with the guy up to the north of the country.
Yeah.
But he said there's lots of tensions between the local population in northern Greece, and there's been a couple of murders in the past couple of days.
So I rang up a good friend of mine, Tommy, who I knew would have been a good backup for me and a good driver. And the rest of the people, I know them vaguely from around Wigan, and I knew they'd been to Romania before, and I knew they'd had experience in driving. There were 2 Class 1 drivers. That's dollars. Vic, £1 million lira there. Tommy Brennan, $800.
Nick Hanley provided 4 of the vehicles, and the post office supplied a 40-foot articulated lorry with 2 drivers. The running costs are covered by the £8,000 donated by people from all over the region.
People say, lucky you going to Albania, but most people we've spoken to wouldn't have come down. We've asked, a lot of people said, you must be out of your mind going there.
6 European countries in 3 days as the convoy heads south, carrying more than 30 tons of aid.
We've had to do 470 miles a day to get to this position where we are now. But this is going to be the best part. We've had on the way down, no snow, no rain, no hold-ups. So as we stand now, We had no breakdown, so we're sitting pretty for the small journey down to Brindisi, which will get us into Greece.
Well, it's sort of not been too bad of a trip up till now, but we had a bit of excitement at the Austrian-Italian border. I come up with the van, and I didn't have the right paperwork apparently, and they all went off to Italy and left me stuck in the Austrian side, which caused a bit of excitement, and ended up with people running back and to trying to get the right paperwork.
All the drivers are volunteers. One of them is unemployed, but the rest all have jobs, and they've all given up their time and their holiday time and their leave to help us on this journey.
It all started with a phone call off Tom, 6 o'clock New Year's Day. He said, I'm trying to get a convoy of food aid for Albania, him and Nick. So I said, he said, we're looking for drivers. I said, when do we go?
My boss asked me if I would be interested in going to Albania, and I thought at first he was joking, but he wasn't.
The crew don't know what to expect. We did meet a guy called Robert at the docks in Ramsgate who just come back, and he had a chat and said it was pretty rough over there. So it's made one or two of them a little bit apprehensive, but I think on the whole we'll just see what happens. It could be different from day to day.
Allora, fai questa 24.
Did you take that visa?
No.
No visa? No. Would you take the gold card? No, no gold card. Okay. Okay. In that case, we'll pay you cash, lira. Lira or dollars.
Had good moments and bad moments. The bad moments are when you don't get your meals on time because you've just not arrived at the right place. A lot of the places close at 9 o'clock.
Brindisi's side streets were never designed to take 40-foot lorries, a unique experience for Roger, especially as he'd never been abroad before.
What an experience. It's unbelievable. I'm a driving instructor, that's my job for the last 20 years, and I'll never call British drivers again. I would hate to take the wagon through on my own.
Vehicles safely parked on the dockside, just the pre-booked tickets to collect for the ferry to Greece, a mere formality.
Yes, sir. Right, we have 5 vehicles booked on Mar lines going from Brindisi to Gamitsa.
For tomorrow?
For tonight.
For tonight?
Yeah, on the 10 o'clock ferry.
There's no departure tonight. Tomorrow,
No departure.
to Igumenica.
No, we were told it leaves tonight at 10 o'clock.
No.
Right, chaps. We have a slight problem. The problem being that there's no booking tonight for us. So it means we'll have to go tomorrow night at 10:30. Just a day late. Is that okay?
What can we say?
No, we're going to say no. We're going to make the most of it. We're going to stay here tomorrow, have a day around town. We've lost one day. So that's about it.
Affect our time in Albania?
Oh, it shouldn't affect time at all. What about crossing the border? Pardon? Well, nothing we can do. We've got to tackle that when we get to it. You know, there's talk that the border closes at weekends. You know, if it's closed, it's closed. We can't. The ship does not sail tonight. It only sails tomorrow night at 10:30.
It's only going to give us 1 day in Albania instead of 3. Well, it's a hell of a setback, considering we've driven non-stop, virtually, from Sunday dinner time to Thursday night to get here. We're all knackered, and then we find out there's no boat. It's got to be a disappointment.
24 hours here, man. 24 hours.
Just when things couldn't get worse,
Well, morale isn't too good. Some of the guys think that because the ferry only goes tonight instead of last night, they think that's my fault. We've had a puncture, they think that's my fault. We had no accommodation last night because all the hotels are full. That's my fault, but that's just things that we've got to expect on the trip. And if that's all we get on this trip, I'll be highly delighted.
the streets of Brindisi are quiet now. A year ago, thousands of Albanians sought refuge in southern Italy. They were sent back to their homeland just 70 miles across the Adriatic Sea. The crossing to Greece is longer and more popular. Trans-European lorries now use the route to avoid Yugoslavia.
We're just coming into Greece now, and within a few hours we'll be in Albania. So we've got to make sure that the 30 tons of food and supplies we have on board go to the right people. We will be meeting 2 Rotarians in a place called Iona, which is 70 kilometres from Igoumenitsa. We've got to really look at these 2 Rotarians for our clients because they've been here before. They know exactly what's going on in Albania, and if they say Gjirokastër is okay, we will carry on to Gjirokastër. If they say that it's not safe to go there, we'll go somewhere else. We've heard about van wagons going through towns on the way to the destination, and they've been stoned by people from towns that pass through, which is quite natural, because if you're passing through a town with 30 tons of aid, you're not going to stop there. You're not going to be too happy, are they? So each time we come to, we just have to just plod through slowly, just keep on rolling, just don't stop.
I think the most important thing is the convoy must stick together tight.
Oh yeah.
Nobody must split it off.
Yeah, and everyone keep moving.
You know that last customs check, Andy?
Yeah.
Did you see the big fella behind me?
Yeah, the wagon behind us.
Yeah. He was saying, he came over to me, he said, "Are you going to Albania?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, big problemo." And he showed me his windscreen. They tried to stop him by throwing bricks at him and put his windscreen in.
It's good, isn't it? It wasn't like that going to Romania, though.
No. I hope this trip's half as good, really, as that one. It was a smashing trip, that.
The drive was good, but when the situation when I got there, I hope it's not the same as here.
It could be worse. What about when we took, 15, 16 children into that room and emptied all the toys on the floor and just played with them?
Oh, in Orphanage too.
Yeah. I mean, a child's a child.
When the kids are brought into that room, it's just the woman sits in a corner and then just lets the kids do what they want. No activity with them, no kind of learning or saying, that's a toy, play with it. And it needs to be done all the
They
time.
couldn't believe, like, grown-ups were rolling on the floor and playing and mauling and fighting with them. It was smashing.
But that needs to be done all the time, doesn't it? And that's where you've got to really educate the women there. All right, they're not on a fantastic wage, fair enough. But I won't like to be paid 25p a week or whatever.
What do you mean you wouldn't like to do it? You're going back for 12 months.
I know that, but I'm not being paid 25p.
In fact, he's being paid nothing for the year he'll spend working in a Romanian orphanage.
I want to go back because of what you said. Get into a situation where...
It'll cost him £3,000, which, because he's unemployed, friends are helping to raise.
For an hour or whatever. Take them back, get another salad, and take the pressure off the women of doing it. Plus educating at the same time.
When is it you go?
Palladio. No, there. No, oh, good. Straight along.
Ioannina, the last big town in the north of Greece, 50 miles from the Albanian border. Local Rotary Club members underline the risks for the inexperienced.
It's very dangerous at night, after 6 o'clock, when the dark comes. It's very dangerous. They can plunder your vehicles.
Right.
It's very, very difficult.
Okay. So what advice could you give us to
go in there, to distribute your medicines, and then at 5 o'clock you must come back here and stay here, and then again next morning you can go inside.
Okay,
it's the better way because it's very dangerous. So you're gonna see all that I tell you, but it's true.
No one is sure that the goods you carry to Albania, they will reach to the proper place.
Yes. And we don't want it to go to a warehouse or...
Yes, but what about the food? What about the clothes?
Oh, we want to give those to the hospitals as well.
The food is very difficult.
The food, yeah.
When they see that trucks, they're gonna plunder you. It's very the awful
Yeah, well,
situation.
why don't we take one truck at a time? You know,
I think it's better to go one truck today,
exactly.
tomorrow,
You see,
another one.
It's going to lessen the risk.
Eh?
If we do a convoy vertals like that,
Yeah,
we're going to be very, very
It's
slow.
better. It's better to convoy.
Are you sure? Because if
What they're saying is, it would have been better all in like carrier bags, so that we can give one person a mixed bag of each thing. They wanted to start unloading it this afternoon and splitting it into bags, then run off and get a load of bags, which is the logistics of that are impossible. I said, well, with 800 boxes in your thing alone, it took 3 weeks load them.
yeah.
So we're going to go to this border if everybody's in agreement, go to this town here and offload one van to there, and then tomorrow offload 2 more on your Monday.
Nowhere.
In what way?
Definitely not.
Well,
It's as simple as that, mate, Tom. There's no way am I going up there on my own.
No, Roger.
Hang on a minute. No, it is on my own, because it's a wagon.
Tom, let me just...
What do you
Yeah,
want?
but there's going to be a 4-ton with you. There's going to be a 4-tonner with you.
My last instructions were, there's no way do we get split up. We all go in together.
If we take a convoy of vehicles in, each village is too small to take everything.
Village?
They expect everything off the wagon, so we're going to take one vehicle at a time with all the bodies.
But all this should have been done before we even come.
You can't do that, Roger, because there's too many quantities.
The only chance we're going to see.
The row had grown out of frustration. The compromise, 1 lorry load of relief to go in on a trial run. The desperation in the Balkan countries poses a threat to Greece. It says it couldn't cope with the thousands who want to come from Albania. Greece and Italy are pressing for long-term European community investment in a country starved of funds and modern technology. The Greek border is marked by a blue steel gate, padlocked and chained to stop would-be refugees. On the other side, a sense of desolation that even the Romanian veterans didn't expect. This is where the Greek minority exist.
We've got 4 hours to do what we want to do.
So what we're waiting for now, can we not get working?
He's gone to get the president of this village, going to bring him back, and he will help us to distribute the... But we'll just give...
Football, Manchester United. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Well, when we first got in the village, it was virtually deserted, and there was just 1 or 2 children playing and looking at us as though we were from Mars. So I felt I wanted to go over and shake their hand, hold them, and show them that we were friends, which worked very, very well.
Wonder how much you want for this vintage truck? Huh? A few bob, isn't it?
The local mayor insists on taking charge. The medical aid goes to the hospital with no patients. The doctor explains why.
He says the hospital is not working because they don't have doctors, they don't have medicals, they don't have anything.
So there are no people here?
People they have.
Yes, it was quiet for a good while, no problem, and then it went downhill from there.
Christmas presents brought unbounded joy, but the volatile situation was clearly illustrated when a box of breakfast cereals was unloaded. Despite dire warnings not to stay after dark, the mayor insists the lorry parks in the main street and only he will distribute the goods 1 item at a time. In the bitterly cold Albanian night, the villagers grow more impatient with officialdom. Boxes of goods are unloaded into a strong room, and they are getting very little.
We thought this would be the easy part, giving to people that need things. I mean, to be quite honest, it's an absolute fiasco.
Groups of men, better dressed than the villagers, wait at the back of the crowd. They had arrived in vans and cars.
We had officials on board a wagon with us who were determined to give the food to the same people all the time, which we thought, whether correct or incorrect, they were black marketeers.
It was getting very, very bad. And at one point, somebody got a box of soap, threw a bar to somebody who caught it, and immediately that man was turned upon, and he got a good hiding.
There was that many people, and all the lads were in the middle of it. You couldn't see anybody. Anybody could have got taken out, and none of us would have known.
No, I didn't think it was this bad. Because I would have thought people would have made it easy for us to help them, you know, make it easy for us to help them. They've not done that, because for the simple fact there's no organisation.
As the fighting starts, the convoy flees back to the border, pursued by a van and 2 cars attempting to cut off the escape route.
Great, Andy.
What we've got to say in conclusion is that the first day in Albania, we've tried to distribute 1 wagon out of 4, and it's been unsuccessful. We've managed to get half.
Partially.
Yeah, well, no, we've got about 2 tons to distribute it. Some of it probably to the wrong people, some to needy people, some to black marketeers, and they've wrecked the whole operation.
The first half of it was quite successful.
The problem is we've been very naive, really. We've met people who promised to.
With 1 vehicle impounded at the border, the volunteers are unable to get into Albania and unwilling to take back the aid they'd brought 2,500 miles.
It's such a shame that we're here in Greece and that we're in the East Sea, it's so wealthy, and yet a short helicopter hop over that mountain, and it's a scene from, it's like being on the moon. It's like walking around a tip where you see people scavenging around and people walking around like lost souls with no work, no food, nothing in the shops, and yet when you try and help them with aid, you're being stopped by black marketeers and just complete and utter hassle.
All these problems could be...
But that evening, the full weight of Greek officialdom comes to the aid of the stranded party. A relief foundation set up by the Greek government to help Albania will show the Wigan convoy how it could be done.
And people of the foundation go to Albania every day, to Argyro, to Saranda, to Himara.
34 emergency refugee camps have been built on the Greek side of the border, evidence that the authorities fear an even further decline in the Albanian situation. The Greek Aid Foundation stores supplies here in readiness. In the newly built warehouses, the Wigan lorries are unloaded under customs supervision. Tons of food, clothing, medicines and toys are taken out of their boxes as teams of highly experienced Greek aid workers repack the goods into smaller parcels.
Each parcel will contain goods for 1 family, a bit of everything: shampoo, food, clothes, soy, whatever. And they have the name of each family in each village, and they will go around, we'll go with them and make sure that it's given out. We can watch how they do it. There's no point bringing them all this way and then falling down in the distribution of it.
The 10th day, the return to Albania, this time under the leadership of the Greek Aid Foundation, who guarantee there'd be no trouble with distribution. The Director General personally supervises the operation. He's well known to the Albanians. His organisation not only distributes short-term help like this, but also provides tractors, buses and training to areas deprived of means to build their future. This was the village grain store until looters wrecked it in search of food a year ago.
And you only have to look for yourself, and you know, anybody with eyes can see that they need aid and immediate aid, and obviously for a long time to come. The only food I've seen in this village are these empty maize husks that are here in this store, and that's all that was in here when we came. I've not seen anything else in the village, the fields or you know.
It seems peculiar to have all them pillboxes here, facing Greece.
That's right, yeah, let's keep the Greeks out, obviously, isn't it?
Well, not what Paul was saying, that it was very clever because they had them facing Greece, but they were to keep the Albanians in, because there's nothing here for the Greeks, is there? Nothing there, though.
That's a shop, that, Tom.
Gelse beni. Jugom. Cevap jugom. Mono donar jugom. No.
Is that what you want?
Yes, $1.
18 there. That's okay. No problem.
No
problem with
problem.
No problem with rest of village.
No problem, no.
Football.
Manchester United.
Yeah.
Manchester United?
Yeah. Good. Feel it very near.
You want us to visit the case, yeah? Yeah, too far, distance too far, and a kilometre. We stay here, good chat.
They have always been without anything that's an aspirant. They didn't have it. So, for them it's very important and they try to have it. Yes, to have it.
It's been a lot better than I did on Saturday. Looks like all the aid, well, it doesn't look like the aid has got through. We've just been seeing the wagons being unloaded in the villages, and all the aid that the Wigan people have given and the Manchester people has got through. So even though we had a rough start on the Saturday, we now can rest assured that the aid is in the right warehouses, it's in the right homes, to the right families, and everything has worked out well.
Relief is good to take and to give, but it doesn't last forever. It only lasts for a couple of days. You need to get out there and to build a structure. It's all right putting relief in, but you need to build up the education and how to use it.
My name's Vic. Your name is? Graham. What is your name?
If everybody sat back and didn't do anything, then people wouldn't get nothing at all, would they? Really. But it's not down to ordinary people to do something. I think it's more, I don't know, somebody who's more capable of, or have more clout, really, to do something. It's not just the ordinary people, because they can't really do very much.
I hope he doesn't want to go back.
Why?
I don't know, I just don't. It's just too worrying, and it's a long time. It's a long time for a little girl for him to be away.
This is a lot better than having them all fighting, isn't it?
Yep. It's for organisation.
They want the contact, they will come to you, and you just give your time, and that is communication. A child knows how to play if you will play with it.
You definitely get the bug for it. Once you've done it, if you get the aid, get it to the people who need it, and you've accomplished your objective, you definitely get a buzz out and you get a lot of satisfaction out of it. I definitely enjoyed it.
Vasiliki Jupa!
Vasiliki Jupa!
The single lesson for anyone else coming over here is not to try and give aid out in villages on your own without supervision. You cannot do it. It would just cause a riot, because you don't know who the black marketeers are, you don't know who the families are. It's just hopeless trying to do that. You must come to some organisation, as we found in Albania, and it runs very sweet, it's organised, there are official people with us here, they're very well respected, the people know that if they upset these people, the aid will dry up. We've given it out, and we've achieved our objective, and we would do it again, but only under these conditions.